We've got winners bracket action as the Lower Columbia College Red Devils take on the North Region champions, the Everett Trojans. Everett won their first round game, beating the Lane Titans 3-2. The Red Devils routed Mount Hood 10-1. This should be a terrific game between two of the NWAC heavyweights. We're glad you're with us on ESPN Radio for Kelso Longview 1490 KLOG. We'll be back with a look at the starting lineups for tonight's ball game in 1 minute following these messages from our fine Red Devil sponsors.
Seattle Pacific University is a premier Christian university where each year 4,000 students catch a vision for making a difference in the world. All across the globe, SPU graduates are making an impact in medicine, technology, athletics, business, education, music, theater, and more. SPU is dedicated to outstanding scholarship and thoughtful faith. It's a powerful combination that brings about change in the lives of graduates and in the people and communities they serve. Seattle Pacific University, engaging the culture, changing the world.
Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Sewer and Drain Service, over 30 years of professionally cleaning out your drains, not your wallet. For the Lower Columbia Red Devils, they'll be the visiting team in tonight's ball game. They'll lead off with Ricky Muzzy at second base. JT Strickler will bat second. He catches. Cameron Campbell bats third at first base. Jordan Barkus bats cleanup. He plays third base. Kyle Sandstrom in center field, batting fifth. Trevor Huddleston bats sixth in right field. Chase Hodgkinson is a designated hitter, batting seventh. Steve Robinson in left field batting eighth. Corey Conklin bats ninth at shortstop. And on the mound pitching, Jared Aiken. For the Everett Trojans, they'll go with Jaden Yackley in left field. He bats leadoff. Jacob Prater plays second base, bats second. Trent Tingelstad is in right field batting third. Peyton Cordova-Smith bats cleanup. He's at first base. Batting fifth in center field, Bryce Steckler. Batting sixth at shortstop, Nick Anderson. Sam Lee bats seventh. He catches. Daniel Head bats eighth. He's a designated hitter. And Cameron McGrath bats ninth at third base. On the mound pitching with a record of 6-2, an earned run average of 1.71, Dalton Chapman. He's a big right-hander. He's 6'5". He's out of West Anchorage, Alaska. So we're just about ready to get this ball game underway. We've had a full slate of action today in the first two ball games of the day in losers bracket action. Tacoma eliminated one of the pre-tourney favorites, Lynn Benton, routing them 19-8. And that is just not the same Lynn Benton team we saw earlier in the year, and they're a better ball club than they showed here. I can guarantee you that. And then in the 12:35 ball game, Mount Hood downed Lane 10-3. In the ball game in winners bracket just completed, Walla Walla knocked off Columbia Basin 7-1. We are just about ready to get this ball game underway. Ricky Muzzy will step it in to lead off against Dalton Chapman. Chapman ready. The first pitch is in tight. Ball one. The time of the first pitch, 8:25. 8:25 first pitch. Chapman working quickly, ready. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Down low, kicks off the shin guard of the catcher, Sam Lee, and rolls over toward the Red Devil dugout. Quickly 2 balls on Ricky Muzzy, hitting .340 on the year. Ricky out of Freeland, Washington, up on Whidbey Island. The next pitch is a strike right at the knees, and the count is 2-1. Chapman back up on the pitching rubber. Big right-hander shrugs his shoulders. Now he's ready. The 2-1 pitch, just a little bit outside. Ball 3, 3-1 the count. Outfield plays essentially straight away for Ricky Muzzy. We've had an absolutely gorgeous day here for baseball in the Lower Columbia region. The 3-1 pitch lifted in the air down the right field line, hooking foul, going to fall down in the playground area. Down there, count runs full now on Ricky Muzzy, to be followed by J.T. Strickler and Cameron Campbell. We'll get you the umpiring crew here in just a moment. Chapman back up on a rubber. Has a signing once. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Chopped out toward the shortstop. Nick Anderson fields cleanly, throws low. And the first baseman, Peyton Cordova-Smith, does a terrific job in corralling that low throw and managing to keep his foot on the base. Eddie Smith out to protest a little bit with the first base umpire. I don't think he's probably going to win, although they are, I believe, going to convene right now and get some other opinions here, so we'll have to wait to see. See if we have a replay on that. Pretty good work by the Topher Vision camera crew, and we'll just have to wait to see how the umpires view it as they're huddled up right now. Good time to tell you about the umpiring crew, brought to you tonight by Cascade Eye Care, your headquarters for good eye health. Officials and umpires have the good eyesight to make the right calls. You make the right call and have your eyes professionally examined at least once a year. You'll love what you see at Cascade Eye Care at 11th and Fur in Longview. And the 3-man crew, home plate umpire Ryan Sorensen, first base umpire Jim Courtney, and the third base umpire is John Jackson, and it has been overruled. So Ricky Muzzy is going to be aboard on a throwing error on the shortstop, Nick Anderson, and in steps J.T. Strickler. Chapman will work from the stretch now. Muzzy gets his lead over at first base. Here comes the pitch. Down low, good stop by the catcher Sam Lee, and the count is 1 ball on J.T. Strickler. J.T., a .381 hitter on the year with 4 home runs, and you will not meet a nicer young man. Want to know the count. Here comes the next pitch, way outside. Catcher Sam Lee had to lunge out to the right of home plate to flag it down, and now he's going to go out and have a word with his big right-handed pitcher, Dalton Chapman. Let's set Everett defensively. Peyton Cordova-Smith is at first base. Jacob Prater is at second base. Cameron McGrath at third. Nick Anderson is at short. Jaden Yackley in left, Bryce Steckler in center, and Trent Tingelstad is in right. The catcher is Sam Lee, and as we mentioned several times, Dalton Chapman is the pitcher. And there you see the graphic up on the Topher Vision site. There's a toss over to first base, and getting back easily is Ricky Muzzy. Muzzy with good speed out there. He has really been a catalyst for the Red Devils all year long. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a line drive into left field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Fielded on one bounce out there by Jaden Yackley. So the Red Devils with action here in the top half of the first. And that'll bring in Cameron Campbell. Cameron, a .295 hitter on the year, but he has 7 home runs. And he has just been so consistent. He's a sophomore out of Ellensburg, and for 2 years now, he has just been Mr. Steady for the Red Devils. Had a long look down to his third base coach, Eric Lane. See how the Red Devils play it here. The first baseman, Peyton Cordova-Smith, comes up on the cut of the grass. Third baseman, McGrath even with the bag. Chapman ready. Here comes the pitch. Fouled back into the screen, just to the right of home plate, and the count is 1 strike on Cameron Campbell. Jordan Barkus is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. A pair of NWAC heavyweights doing battle here tonight. Chapman checks the runner at second. The 0-1 pitch, chopped to the left side. Gloved by the shortstop, goes to second for one. The throw on to first, not quite in time. Good hustle up the line that time by Cameron Campbell. They do get JT Strickler at second base. On the play, Ricky Muzzy advances to third. So runners on first and third now with one man down. And in steps Jordan Barkus. Jordan, a .350 hitter on the year with 2 home runs. Left-handed batter. There's a pitch laced foul just past the third base dugout, rolling down the left field line right now, and one of the Everett players is going to chase it down. Jordan steps out of the batter's box. Looks like he might have gotten something in his eye, perhaps. Takes the helmet off and now gets it back on. Young guy out of Kaiser, Oregon. 3rd year in the program, as he had a medical redshirt last year. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Called a strike right on the outside edge. Good fastball by Dalton Chapman. And the count quickly 2 strikes on Jordan Barkus. Kyle Sandstrom is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Red Devils looking to get the early lead here. With runners aboard first and third in the top of the first. 1 man down. Chapman ready. Here comes the pitch. Very high, very high. Jumping up out of the crouch to flag it down was Sam Lee. And the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Very gentle breeze here tonight at Story Field. Usually we get a real strong evening wind, and we've not had that at all today. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, a curveball. Circles the plate, stays a little high, and the count runs even now on Barkus, 2-2. Steps out of the box with that right foot. Gets the sign from Eric Lane, now gets back in. Really crowds up on the plate, does Jordan. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball headed into left field. The left fielder was played it perfectly, makes the catch. Breaking from third, coming in to score is Ricky Muzzy. The throw was well offline by the left fielder, Jordan Yackley. And coming in to score the first run of the ball game is Ricky Muzzy. A sacrifice fly off the bat of Jordan Barkus. Jordan came into the game with 38 RBIs. That was actually on the regular season. So the Red Devils lead it 1-0. Cameron Campbell is still aboard over at first base. And in steps Kyle Sandstrom, the center fielder. Out of Ferndale, way up in northwest Washington. The pitch, check swing, takes it down low, ball 1. Had to wait to see if he held up a little bit. Outfield straightaway, medium depth for Kyle. Hitting .325 on the year. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, a little bit high. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. Thought we might have a little bigger crowd tonight, given the weather and the fact that it's a weekend evening, but not a bad crowd on hand. There's a toss over to first base. Cameron Campbell dives back in. Of course, we've got teams from around the area competing in state softball tournaments and state track meets, so here comes the 2-0 pitch in there for a called strike. Looked like Sandstrom might have been taking all the way, and the count is 2-1. I'll tell you who traveled well and brought a nice contingent of fans was Columbia Basin. Dalton Chapman has a look over at Campbell at first base. The 2-1 pitch breaks down low and inside, kicks away from the catcher Sam Lee out in front of the plate. Did a good job keeping that ball in front of him. No chance to advance for Cameron Campbell. And the count runs 3-1 right now on Kyle Sandstrom. There's a toss over to first base. Campbell dives back in. Campbell gets his lead off first. Just an average lead for Cameron, not normally a threat to steal. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, chopped by the mound, headed in towards center field. The second baseman fields in behind the bag, throws to first, and just gets the hustling Kyle Sandstrom. That'll do it for the Red Devils in the first, but they come up with a run. We move on to the bottom of the first. Red Devils 1, Trojans nothing.
When you first visit Seattle Pacific University, it's easy to fall in love with the campus. But just ask one of the students. There's something different about SPU, a place where faith, service, and academic excellence meet. And it's the only private university in the Pacific Northwest to make the latest U.S. News and World Report Best National Universities list. This is Seattle Pacific University.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Jared Aiken to face the top third of the order for the Everett Trojans. Jaden Yackley, Jacob Prater, and Trent Tingelstad. Aiken's first pitch, a little bit high, ball one. Jared, a 6'3" right-hander out of Hillsboro. Perfect on the year, 6-0 with a 1.30 earned run average. There's a pop-up down the right field line, foul territory. Cameron Campbell gives chase and makes a nice running catch right near the fence down the right field line. Good hustle by Cameron Campbell. And there you see the replay on Topher Vision. And again, good camera work, and boy, he just got it on the end of the webbing. Nice catch by Cameron Campbell. So one man down here in the bottom of the first, and in steps Jacob Prater. There's the pitch up high from Jared Aiken, and the count is 1 ball. Boy, we have seen some splendid defensive plays today. I mean, highlight reel stuff. There's the next pitch in for a called strike, breaking ball, and the count is 1-1. Jared Aiken, another guy that took a medical red shirt last year and has come back and just been stellar all year long. There's the next pitch. It's a fastball right on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Working quickly is Jared. The next pitch fouled back into the screen off to the right of home plate. Count remains 1-2. Cameron Campbell plays first. Ricky Muzzy at second. Jordan Barkas at third, and Corey Conklin, a splendid shortstop. There's the next pitch. Popped up down the right field line. This one, I believe, is going to fall in amongst the picnic tables down there. It does. Count 1-2. Steve Robinson is in left field tonight for the Red Devils. Kyle Sandstrom in center, and Trevor Huddleston is in right. The catcher, J.T. Strickler. Aiken ready. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just off the outside edge. Some of the Red Devil fans thought it was in there, and J.T. Strickler tried to frame it. 2-2 the count now on Jacob Prater, hitting .301 on the year. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Popped up, third base side. Jordan Barkas calling everybody off. Comes down the line a little ways and makes the one-handed catch. So 2 pop-ups, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning, and that'll bring in the number 3 hitter in the lineup, Trent Tingelstad. Tingelstad, the right fielder, for the Trojans, hitting .372 on the year with 1 home run. Left-handed batter. Here comes the pitch. A check swing, he'll take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Trojans kind of wearing the retro uniforms. They've got the white pants. The jersey's kind of a combination of red and orange stripes. Next pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball down in the strike zone, and the count is 0-2. Aiken ready, here comes the 0-2 pitch. Just outside, ball 1, good waist pitch. 1-2 the count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Popped up again. Shallow right field. The right fielder Huddleston coming in, calls off the second baseman Muzzy to make the catch. And that'll do it for the Trojans here in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 1, the score, Lower Columbia 1, Everett nothing.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
On to the top half of the second inning, Kyle Sandstrom, or check that, Trevor Huddleston will step in. Huddleston, .287 hitter on the year. Red Devil right fielder, and he gets hit. Got hit up on the left shoulder. So the Red Devils with the leadoff man aboard here again. And in the first inning, Ricky Muzzy reached on an error to lead off the ball game and came around to score. Chase Hodgkinson will step in, the designated hitter, young man out of Melbourne, Australia. And boy, after a slow start, he has really turned it on, hitting .333 on the year. He's a switch hitter and hitting left-handed against the right-hander, Dalton Chapman. Huddleston with good speed on at first base. The first pitch down low to Chase Hodgkinson. Chapman with a look over to first base. Comes to the plate a little bit high, ball 2, 2-0 the count. So far, Chapman not real precise with the location. Steve Robinson swinging the bat in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Chapman ready, the 2-0 pitch, pours it in there for a called strike, count 2-1. Looked like Chase might have been taking all the way. Outfield, straightaway medium depth. Left-handed batter gets in, slightly open stance, takes a couple of practice cuts. Chapman comes set. The 2-1 pitch. There's a little looper hit out toward the second baseman. Fields on one bounce, goes to the shortstop covering second, and a relay to first in time for the double play. Nicely turned that time by the Trojans. Score at 4-6-3 on the double play, and the bases are empty. That'll bring in Steve Robinson, Red Devil left fielder out of Yuba City, California. a sophomore in terms of eligibility. The first pitch is a curveball, breaks down and in right across the inside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Chapman pitching from the stretch with nobody on base. Next pitch is a curveball. This one catches the outside edge for a called strike, and just as I say, he's having trouble with the location. He comes back with a couple of curveballs that have pinpoint location. One on the inside edge, one on the outside edge. Big right-hander ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one's a fastball up high, and the count is 1-2 on Steve Robinson. Chapman ready, the 1-2 pitch, fouled back behind the plate into the screen. Count remains 1-2 on Steve. Takes a little stroll off to the right of home plate, now gets back in. Red Devils in the first base dugout. They moved over there, oh gosh, probably about 10-12 games into the season, and they've stayed there ever since. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball up high, 2-2 the count. The reason for the move was the fact that the third base dugout tended to get pretty wet, and they figured as long as we're the home team and having all these teams come in here early part of the year, we can at least stay dry. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a curveball hit out toward the second baseman. Prater goes down to one knee, fields, and throws to first in time. That'll do it for the Red Devils. Scoreless here in the second. We've gone 1.5 innings. The score, Lower Columbia 1, Everett nothing. Back in 1 minute.
Ready for a new adventure? Study at Douglas College in Vancouver, Canada. Take a post-degree program and launch your career, or prepare to study at top Canadian universities. Become eligible for a 3-year work visa with a 2-year program. Choose success. Choose Douglas College.
Look, baseball's a numbers game. A 570-foot home run at age 15, 31 homers in 66 games, first front cover at 16, number 1 overall draft pick, majors at 19. Over 100 home runs is 34. On-base percentage of 340, then 368, then 460. 4-time All-Star, leading 9.2 million ballots, 30 out of 30 MVP votes, chasing 762, 4256, 2297, 3562. You're 220 at age 23. But kid, just remember, no number sounds as good as this.
Ready's just for the halibut. Getting ready to move into the bottom half of the second inning. Jared Aiken will face Peyton Cordova-Smith, Bryce Steckler, and Nick Anderson. Peyton Cordova-Smith, fine ball player, left-handed batter, first baseman for Everett. There's the first pitch, catches the outside edge, called a strike, and the count is 0-1. Jared working quickly. There's the next pitch. There's a fly ball belted into left center field. I don't think anybody's going to get to this one. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Peyton Cordova-Smith on his way into second base. Center fielder Kyle Sandstrom chases it down out there near the bulk Millennium Terminal sign and gets the ball back in. So a leadoff double by Peyton Cordova-Smith. And just like that, Everett threatening here in the bottom half of the second, trailing by a score of 1-0. And in steps Bryce Steckler, the center fielder, hitting .282 on the year. Steckler, a right-handed batter. Aiken steps off the rubber, now gets back up on top. First baseman Cameron Campbell expecting a bunt, creeps way in. There's a pitch popped up on the infield. Left side, Corey Conklin, the shortstop, calls for it, drops the ball. Boy, you just don't see Corey do that. I'll tell you what, he has been so steady in the field all year long, bordering on spectacular. And it is that time of the night, I'll tell you, where the lights have not taken full effect, and that one just flat kicked out of his glove. Tough break for Corey, tough break for the Red Devils. Fans, be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. In steps Nick Anderson, so runners on first and second now with nobody out. Aiken delivers. There's a bunt in the air behind the plate, comes back into the screen, and the count is 1 strike on Nick Anderson, hitting .333 on the year. As a team, Everett hit .300 on the year, just edging the Red Devils at .297. The Red Devils have a bit of an edge in earned run average at 2.82 versus 2.88. So statistically, these teams are just about identical. There's a breaking ball down low. Good stop by J.T. Stickler behind the plate. And the count evens up at 1-1 on Nick Anderson. Sam Lee's on deck for the Trojans. Cameron Campbell, first baseman, still expecting a bunt. Outfield straightaway. There's a fake move back to second. Peyton Cordova Smith saunters back to the bag. Nobody covering. Middle infielders looking for a double play. Aiken ready. Here comes the pitch. A fastball up high. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. We're in the bottom half of the second. Red Devils leading 1-0, but the Trojans threatening with runners on first and second. Nobody down. Aiken has a signy once from his catcher. Here comes the next pitch. Down low, a breaking ball. 3-1 the count. And Aiken has really given up very few bases on balls. In 48 innings, he's only walked 8. He has struck out 28, so a good strikeout to walk ratio. Big right-hander ready. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. Chopped right back to the mound. Goes to second. Low throw. My goodness gracious. Wheels kind of coming off a little bit for the Red Devils here, who have been so solid in the field all year. He actually had a play at third base. Opted to go to second and threw the ball low and handcuffed Corey Conklin. Fortunately, the ball kicked up high in the air, and Ricky Muzzy was there to retrieve it, which kept Peyton Cordova Smith from scoring, so he moves on to third base. Steckler is at second base. A throwing error on the pitcher. Anderson's aboard at first, so the bases are loaded with nobody out. And in steps Sam Lee, the catcher, a .333 hitter on the year. Middle infielders will play back. Jordan Barkus comes up on the cut of the grass. Eddie Smith going to come out and have a quick word with, I think, the entire infield right now to try to set things defensively here. So Everett with a major threat here in the bottom half of the second, trailing 1-0, but they've got the bases loaded with nobody out. Say, young people, you looking for a challenge? Push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. You'll be trained in one of more than 150 career fields and could even earn money for college if you qualify. To find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to goarmy.com. The visit is over, and Eddie Smith makes his way back toward the first base dugout. So Jared Aiken will work to Sam Lee, and he'll pitch from the stretch with the bases loaded. The pitch. There's a fly ball lifted into left field, deep left field. Robinson goes back, makes the catch on the warning track. The runners all try to move up. Scoring from third base is Peyton Cordova Smith, and moving from second to third. Good base running that time by Bryce Steckler as he gets in ahead of the throw. Remaining over at first base was Nick Anderson. Eddie Smith comes out of the dugout, not sure what he's questioning. Now he's headed back towards the dugout. So we're tied here at the bottom of the first. So give a sacrifice fly to Sam Lee and an RBI, and in steps Daniel Head, the designated hitter. hitting .263 on the year, right-handed batter. Runners get their leads at first and third respectively. The first pitch is a curveball down low and away, and the count is 1 ball. Boy, just really uncharacteristic play on the field by the Red Devils here in the bottom half of the second. There's the next pitch, down low, ball 2, 2-0 the count. Jared gonna take a walk around the backside of the mound and kind of think about it a little bit. Wipes his left hand off on his pant leg, now climbs back up on top. Right-hander peers down to his catcher, JT Stickler. There's a toss over to first. And getting back in easily is Nick Anderson. Catcher JT Strickler gets the signs from over at the dugout. There's a toss over to first again, and once again Anderson dives back in easily. Everett fans are clearly into it. You can hear in the background. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a slider that broke outside and just went off the end of the bat of Daniel Head. Cameron McGrath, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, is in the on-deck circle. There's a toss over to first once again to get Anderson back. On the year, Anderson with 3 stolen bases. Here comes the pitch. Popped up. On the left side, Corey Conklin drifts back on the outfield grass, makes the catch this time. So a big second out. And Cameron McGrath will step in. Jared Aiken trying to work out a hot water here after giving up 1 run. Still has runners on first and third. 2 men down now, however. Aiken ready. Here comes the pitch. Poured in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Good fastball by Jared. Not so sure Cameron McGrath might not have been taken all the way just to see a pitch. Aiken has the sign he wants. Checks the runners, the 0-1 pitch. Curveball popped up first base side. Cameron Campbell gonna watch it fall harmlessly into the picnic area down there, and the count is 2 strikes quickly on Cameron McGrath. Right now, Jared Aiken just trying to minimize the damage here in the bottom half of the second. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball up high, good waist pitch, and the count is 1-2. Hoping to get McGrath to chase it. Center fielder Kyle Sandstrom pulled over a few steps into right center field. In fact, they shade him a little bit to the right. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, cued off the end of the bat, foul. Boy, he lunged at a breaking ball down low and away. Cued it off the end of the bat over toward the first base dugout. Once again, Aiken peers down to his catcher, JT Strickler. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside. Why not? McGrath chased one outside last time, so why not give it a whirl again? 2-2 the count now on McGrath. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball just a little bit low and off the outside edge. Ball 3. Count runs full now on McGrath. So the runner from first will be off and running with a pitch. Steckler gets his lead over at third. Here comes the payoff pitch. Hit on the ground right side. Ricky Muzzy moves to his left field. Throws to first in time. And that'll do it for the Trojans. They come up with the equalizer. After 2, we're tied at 1.
People say knowledge is power, and they have a point.
At Portland State, you tell your own story.
You build your own stage.
You take your best ideas to the streets. You let the world see who you are
and who you hope to be. Knowledge is about how hard you're willing to work to do something real.
It's about how far you're willing to go to do something great.
We move to the top half of the third. Corey Conklin, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, will lead off for the Red Devils. He'll be followed by Ricky Muzzy and JT Strickler. Corey's put together a solid year, hitting .272 on the year. Here comes the first pitch, outside ball 1, and take away that one dropped pop-up here in the last half inning, and he has been absolutely marvelous in the field. Going to go play baseball next year at Eastern Kentucky. There's the next pitch, a curveball drops in for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Really a good athlete, and you just kind of get the feeling he's one of those guys that's just going to continue to get better and better and better as he moves to the next level. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, outside ball 2, 2-1 the count on Corey. Out of Corvallis, Oregon. Dalton Chapman ready. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Curveball catches the outside edge, and the count evens up at 2-2. Got a kick out of Eddie Smith the night they had senior recognition, talking about Corey, and he said when he came here, he said he was just a skinny rack of bones, and he's still a very slender young man, but he has really worked hard in the weight room. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Curveball stays outside ball 3. Count runs full now on the lanky left-handed batter, wears 17. Red Devils in white pants and the navy blue uniforms tonight. Corey with a wide open stance. Chapman ready. Here comes the payoff pitch. Curveball popped up into center field, straight away. Bryce Steckler. Boy, that ball, he lost it in the lights. Gets in behind him. Conklin on his way around second, on the way to third, and he's going to coast in there with a triple. You know, maybe turnabout's fair play, and there you see the replay of it. Bryce Steckler had it initially, and it had good carry, and he just flat lost it in the lights and had to chase it down on the warning track, and Corey Conklin with good speed motors on into third with a stand-up triple. And I'll tell you what, after having trouble with the twilight here, Corey Conklin is the beneficiary of a triple, pretty much the same situation. So Corey Conklin aboard with a leadoff triple, and Ricky Muzzy will step in. Muzzy reached on an error and scored in the first. The fastball down low, good stop that time by Sam Lee. The count is 1-1 to Ricky Muzzy. Muzzy, .340 hitter on the year with 3 home runs. Conklin gets his lead over at third. The pitch, down low and away, ball 2, 2-0 the count. It's going to be one of those nights, I guess, at least until the lights take full effect. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. Curveball catches the inside edge for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Weak swing, fouls it just to the left of home plate. The pitcher, Dalton Chapman, runs all the way in to field the ball and asks for a new one, and they give him one. Fans, be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. 2-2 the count on Ricky Muzzy. JT Strickler is in the on-deck circle. Chapman leans down, gets the sign from his catcher, Sam Lee. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fouled, up and out of play. First base side, going to head on over toward the campus. And the count remains 2-2 on Ricky Muzzy. Right-handed batter with a open stance. Now wide open stance. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Fastball right at the knees, and Muzzy is caught looking and called out, and that doesn't happen very often. First strikeout of the ball game for Dalton Chapman, and JT Strickler, who singled and then was forced at second, will step in. Most valuable player in the West region. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball down low. Good stop by Sam Lee. Just a reminder, you're listening to Red Devil Championship Baseball on 1490 KLOG Kelso Longview and KLOG.com. Also viewing on Topher Vision. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball up high. 2-0 the count. Lee, the catcher, had to jump up and flag it down. That fastball had some hair on it. 2-0 the count on Strickler. Young guy out of Meridian, Idaho. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. This one's in for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Looked like he might have been taken all the way. Golden opportunity for the Red Devils to score. They got the go-ahead run on at third with one man down. Corey Conklin with a leadoff triple. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball down in the zone. And the count now 2-2 on JT Strickler. JT takes a big deep breath, kind of shrugs the shoulders, taps the plate. Dalton Chapman climbs up on the rubber. He takes a big deep breath as well. Shakes off one sign. Now peers down. Has the sign he wants. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fouled up and out of play. First base side again, headed over toward the campus. JT just protecting the plate that time. Count remains 2-2. Cameron Campbell in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. We're in the top half of the third. We're in winner's bracket action. We're tied at 1. Everett and Lower Columbia. Chapman ready. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up. First or right field side. Second baseman. And now what have we got here? They make the catch, and they're going to call interference, I believe. Or no, they called a balk. No pitch. They called a balk. And coming in to score from third base is Corey Conklin. And new life for JT Strickler, as he's still in there with a 2-2 count. So the bases are empty. The Red Devils now lead at 2-1. Here comes the pitch. Hit on the ground left side. Diving stop by the shortstop Anderson. Long throw to first. Up the line a little ways, and JT Strickler with good speed legs it out. And we'll see how they're going to score that. They're going to rule it a base hit, justifiably so. So Strickler is aboard. He's got a couple of hits in 2 plate appearances tonight. And that'll bring in Cameron Campbell. There you see the replay on Topher Vision. Good stop by Nick Anderson, ranging to his right, deep in the hole. And just couldn't quite get enough on it. Threw it up the line a little ways. Strickler gets his lead over at first base. Campbell was aboard on a fielder's choice his first time up. Breaking ball down low. Good stop by the catcher Sam Lee, and the count is 1 to Cameron Campbell. Talking to some of the people in the press box earlier, the Campbell family have come over from Ellensburg. I don't think they've missed a game in 2 years, and they're just a family you'd love to have around forever. Here's the next pitch. Down low, ball 2. They root for every kid on the roster just like it was their own kid, and just have been a real joy to have in the ballpark. JT Strickler gets his lead over at first. There's a toss over. JT dives back in. JT does have good speed over there. 11 stolen bases on the year. And a good lead for the young guy from Idaho. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Campbell. Hit on the right side. Second baseman Prater, his only play is going to be to first. As he throws out Cameron Campbell. On the play, JT Strickler moves into second. scored 4-3, and that'll bring in Jordan Barkus. Jordan drove in the Red Devils' first run of the ball game with a sacrifice fly to left field. Ricky Muzzy scored from third base on that play. Jordan, left-handed batter, .350 hitter on the year with 2 home runs. Waves that bat back and forth. Chapman ready, checks the runner at second, delivers. Fouled off to the left of home plate. Count as 1 strike on Jordan Barkus. Kyle Sandstrom is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Outfield straight away for Jordan. Wind blowing in a little bit from left field right now. Not real hard, but a slight factor. Chapman, a couple looks to Strickler. Delivers, curveball, swing and a miss. Good pitch that time by Dalton Chapman as he took a lot off that one, and Barkus was way out in front. So the count is 2 strikes on Jordan. Chapman steps off the rubber. Now gets back up on top. Long look down to Sam Lee, the catcher. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fouled up and out of play. Count remains 0-2. One of the Mount Hood batters today had a 14-pitch at bat, fouled off 10 pitches. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, very high. Pops out of the glove of the catcher Sam Lee. No chance for JT to advance from second base. Count now 1-2 on Jordan Barkus. Chapman leans down. Comes set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Curveball circles the plate. Count 2-2 now on Jordan Barkus. Red Devils looking to punch across another run. They've taken the lead 2-1 here in the top half of the third. The winner will play Walla Walla tomorrow. Walla Walla knocked off Columbia Basin in the earlier game 7-1, and that's a ball club that's on a roll. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fouled back into the screen again. Barkus making Chapman work. That ball game tomorrow would be at 5:35. The loser of this ball game will play tomorrow at 2:05 against Tacoma. Chapman ready. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Red Devils come up with a run here in the top half of the third. They lead by a score of 2-1. We'll be back in 1 minute.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces soldiers are the best of the best.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
When you first visit Seattle Pacific University, it's easy to fall in love with the campus. But just ask one of the students. There's something different about SPU, a place where faith, service, and academic excellence meet. And it's the only private university in the Pacific Northwest to make the latest U.S. News and World Report Best National Universities list. This is Seattle Pacific University.
Weather guard for all your roofing needs. Jared Aiken will face the top third of the order for the Everett Trojans here as we begin play in the bottom half of the third. Red Devils leading by a score of 2-1. Jaden Yackley steps in to face the right-hander. There's the first pitch, popped up in right field. Trevor Huddleston chases the ball down in foul territory and makes the catch. Boy, he was kind of battling with the twilight as well down there, but makes the catch. So one pitch, one out. And in steps Jacob Prater. Boy, one of the nice things about being able to broadcast on the World Wide Web is when you've got a player from Australia, his parents can watch. And I want to say hello to Chase Hodgkinson's parents down in Melbourne, Australia. First pitch is in for a called strike to Jacob Prater. You can be proud of your son. He's had a really fine year up here and a very popular young man. Next pitch is up high, ball one. 1-1 the count. Another young man on the Red Devil roster who's played well, Sam Trent Beacom. Reserve third baseman, but he'd be a starter on most teams in the NWAC. There's the next pitch. Hit right at the third baseman, Jordan Barkas, on the line, and Barkas takes it about eye level for out number 2. So a well-hit ball, but right at Jordan Barkas. And in steps Trent Tingelstad. Left-handed batter. Skied to left his first time up. There's a fly ball to deep center field. Sandstrom going back on the ball right near the warning track, and he hauls it in. Boy, Tingelstad gave it a ride, and Sandstrom chases it down at about the 380 mark out there, and that'll do it for Everett. We've played 3. The score, Lower Columbia 2, Everett 1.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a guard engineer.
On to the top half of the 4th inning. Kyle Sandstrom will lead it off against Dalton Chapman. Sandstrom to be followed by Huddleston and Hodkinson for the Red Devils. Here comes the first pitch. Curveball, just a little bit low, ball 1. 1-0 the count on Kyle Sandstrom. Kyle bounced to second his first time up. 1-0 pitch. Sails a little bit outside. 2-0 the count. Chapman working quickly. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Down low, ball 3. 3-0 the count on Kyle Sandstrom. Kyle's a 5'10 freshman. Mentioned he's out of Ferndale. Here comes a 3-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. Chapman grooved that one in there. Kyle taking all the way, and the count runs to 3-1. Ball game about 55 minutes old right now. Here's the next pitch. Popped up third base side, foul territory. Third baseman Cameron McGrath going to run out of room over there as the ball falls in amongst the spectators over there. Full count on Kyle Sandstrom. Slightly open stance, wears number 8 on his back. Chokes the bat handle about an inch. There's the next pitch. There's a line drive headed into left field for a base hit. Boy, he just went with the pitch and went the opposite way with it. And he's aboard with a leadoff single here in the top half of the fourth. And that'll bring in Trevor Huddleston. Trevor was hit by a pitch his first time up. Boy, Trevor's been a valuable member of the Red Devils. Solid right fielder. Had a good year at the plate, hitting .287. Been a closer much of the year. Really kind of the go-to guy in the bullpen. There's the first pitch down low outside. Runner from first goes. Throw down to second base and in time. Boy, good strong throw by the catcher Sam Lee to get Kyle Sandstrom. The ball kind of kicked away from Lee, and Sandstrom made a break for it. And good play out there by the second baseman Jacob Prater, and you saw that on Topher Vision, those of you watching, to catch that ball. Here's the pitch to Huddleston, lifted into center field, and a great catch in shallow center field by the second baseman Jacob Prater, going back on the ball. Yet another great play amongst many today, and there you see the replay as he made a lunge for it and caught the ball falling away from the infield. My, my, my. So with 2 men down, in steps Chase Hodgkinson, that young man from Australia. Squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, takes it inside, ball 1. Chapman ready, here comes the 1-0 pitch. Poured in there for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Outfield straight away for Chase. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, fouled back into the screen. Count 1-2 now. Chase serving as a designated hitter tonight, but during the season pretty much split catching duties with JT Strickler. Cameron Campbell worked in there as well, but Cameron cut his hand real badly in a rundown drill midway through the year and had to sit out about 3 weeks. And since he's come back, they primarily used him at first base and designated hitter. Chapman ready, the 1-2 pitch. Chopped foul behind the plate. Just trying to make contact with it there and stay alive is Chase Hodgkinson. Count remains 1-2. Chapman ready. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a line drive headed into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Right fielder Tingelstad over quickly to pick it up. So Hodgkinson is aboard with a 2-out single here. That's the 5th hit of the ball game for the Red Devils, and with 2 men down, Steve Robinson will step in. 2 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for the Red Devils, 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error for the Trojans. There you see the replay on Topher Vision. Robinson bounced to second his first time up. .272 hitter on the year. A lot of left-handed batters for the Red Devils. There's a pitch grounded by the mound out toward the second baseman. Prater gloves, throws to first in time, and that'll do it for the Red Devils here as they fail to score in the top half of the fourth. We move to the bottom half of the fourth. Red Devils 2, Trojans 1.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
Seattle Pacific University is a premier Christian university where each year 4,000 students catch a vision for making a difference in the world. All across the globe, SPU graduates are making an impact in medicine, technology, athletics, business, education, music, theater, and more. SPU is dedicated to outstanding scholarship and thoughtful faith. It's a powerful combination that brings about change in the lives of graduates and in the people and communities they serve. Seattle Pacific University, engaging the culture, changing the world.
Say, young people, you looking for a challenge? Push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. You'll be trained in one of more than 150 career fields and could even earn money for college if you qualify. To find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to goarmy.com. Jared Aiken will face the numbers 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the lineup for Everett here as we begin play in the bottom half of the fourth. Red Devils leading it by a score of 2-1. Peyton Cordova Smith, who doubled and scored the Everett run back in the second inning, will step in. And boy, he really got into one, lacing it to the wall in left center field. Really a good ball player. There's the first pitch right on the outside edge for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 on the left-handed hitting Peyton Cordova Smith. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Took a little bit off of it, did Aiken. Straight change looked like that time, in for a called strike. And the count quickly 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swinging. Fouled. I thought he missed it, but lost it. Fouled up and out of play. Count remains 2 strikes on Cordova Smith. Jared Aiken working very quickly. The 0-2 pitch, hit on the ground. A diving attempt by the second baseman, Ricky Muzzy. Can't quite come up with it. So Peyton Cordova Smith is aboard with a leadoff single. So he's 2 for 2 in the ball game, and Bryce Steckler will step in. Steckler reached on an error. That was on that pop-up to short that Corey Conklin lost in the twilight. And then Corey later had a triple that the center fielder for Everett lost in the twilight. Cordova Smith gets his lead at first. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground left side, through into left field for a base hit. So 2 hits in a row to begin play here in the bottom half of the fourth inning for Everett. That's their 3rd hit of the ball game. And Nick Anderson will step in. Anderson reached on an error. That was the throwing error on the pitcher, Jared Aiken, when he tried to go to second base to get a lead runner and threw low and handcuffed Corey Conklin, covering the base. Let's see how they play it. Cameron Campbell thinking they may be bunting as he comes up way up on the infield turf at first base. Here's the pitch, curveball, down low and away, ball 1. 1-0 the count. That was a sharp breaking curveball by Jared Aiken. Outfield plays straight away for Nick Anderson. 2-1, Red Devils lead, but Everett threatening here in the bottom of the fourth. With runners on first and second, nobody down. Aiken steps off the rubber, now gets back up on top. Looks down to his catcher, J.T. Strickler. Now he has the one he wants. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Hit on the ground left side, fielded by Conklin. He goes to the third baseman to get the lead runner. And boy, nice stop that time by Jordan Barkis as that throw was a little bit low, but the Red Devils do get the lead runner at third. That would be Cordova Smith. On the play, Steckler moves to second base, and Nick Anderson is aboard on a fielder's choice. So 1 man down. That sets up the possibility of a double play as Sam Lee, the catcher, steps in. He hit a sacrifice fly to drive in Everett's 1 run of the ball game. That back in the second inning. Fake move back to second base. Aiken steps off the rubber. Ricky Muzzy, the second baseman, was sneaking in. Corey Conklin pulled over in the hole at short. Here's the pitch. Curveball drops in. Oh, man, I thought that was in there. You can hear some of the fans. Maybe a little bit low. Umpiring has actually been very, very consistent and very good throughout the tournament. Aiken. Long look down to his catcher, J.T. Strickler. Now the Batter Sam Lee calls time and steps out. Takes a practice cut now, gets back in. Sam Lee, a right-handed batter. Kind of crouched over a little bit. Once again, Aiken kind of a fake slow move back to second base. Nobody covering. Steckler gets back easily. Runners get their leads now at first and second base. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball down low, 2-0 the count. Sam Lee does not have a home run, but the left fielder Steve Robinson playing very, very deep. He's back almost on the warning track. Now he takes a couple steps forward. Aiken keeping an eye on the runner at second base. Steckler, who had a very good lead, steps off the rubber. Once again, Aiken ready. Here comes the pitch. Lifted in the air. On the left side of the infield. Conklin coming in near the mound. Settles under it, makes the catch. The lights have still not taken full effect. And boy, once that ball gets up in the air, it's a little tough to pick up. So 2 men down now for the Trojans. And in steps Daniel Head, the designated hitter. Head popped to the shortstop his first time up. 263 hitter on the year. Aiken with a check of the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Popped up and out of play, first base side. Going to drift over onto the campus library. You're listening to Red Devil Baseball on 1490 KLOG Kelso Longview and KLOG.com, and you're watching on Topher Vision. Glad you're with us. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Curveball drops in nicely for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Boy, Aiken's really got a sharp bender tonight. No balls, 2 strikes the count on Daniel Head. Aiken steps off the rubber, now gets back up on, working from the third base side of the pitching rubber. The 6'3" right-hander ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball up high. Good waist pitch, 1-2 the count on Daniel Head. Should Head get aboard, Cameron McGrath, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, is in the on-deck circle. Aiken with a check of the runner at second. Delivers. Curveball chopped to the left side of the infield. Gloved by the third baseman Barca. Strong throw to first. Just in time. And that'll do it for the Trojans. They come up empty here in the bottom of the 4th. We've played for the score. Red Devils 2, Trojans 1. Back in 1 minute.
Challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
Hello, welcome to How to PSU. In today's quick session, we're going to answer some common questions about transferring to PSU. The key things to remember are: apply early, use our online resources, and advisors are your friend.
On to the top half of the 5th inning. Corey Conklin will lead it off for the Red Devils, to be followed by Ricky Muzzy and JT Strickler. Corey tripled, hit a high, long fly ball to deep center field that the center fielder, Steckler, lost. And it fell near the warning track, and Corey, with good speed, motored all the way around to third for a stand-up triple. Here comes the pitch. Fastball outside. 1-0 the count. No home runs on the year. Tell you what, that fly ball to just about any other part of the ballpark would have been a home run. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Man, he had a rip at that one. Pitch was down in the strike zone. 1-1 the count now on Corey. Dalton Chapman working from the first base side of the pitching rubber now. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Right at the knees for a called strike. 1-2 the count now on the Red Devils shortstop out of Corvallis, Oregon. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Up high, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Outfield straight away for Corey. Corey has a sign he wants from his third base coach, Eric Lane. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fouled at the plate. Ball rolls over toward the Red Devil dugout a few feet. Picked up there by JT Strickler. Tosses the ball out of play. Corey takes a couple of practice cuts off to the right of home plate. Shrugs his shoulders, now gets back in there. Dalton Chapman has gone all the way for Everett. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, chopped foul. This one didn't quite make it into the Red Devil dugout because JT Strickler over there jumped up in the air and grabbed it before it, he jumped up in the air and grabbed it before it could. JT's all over the place tonight. And he's played all over the place for the Red Devils this year. Done some catching, played some first base, played some outfield, just a good athlete. 2-2 pitch, hit sharply out toward the second baseman. Prater fields, throws to first in time to get the hustling Corey Conklin, so score at 4-3. Conklin is the first out of the inning here. And we go back to the top of the order for Ricky Muzzy. Muzzy reached on an error and scored in the first, struck out in the third. Chapman working quickly, delivers, curveball, drops in nicely for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Muzzy listed at 5'11", played at South Whidbey High School. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, a little bit outside, 1-1 the count. Absolutely beautiful area of the state. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Chopped foul, third base side, goes by. Third base coach Eric Lane, gonna roll down the left field line. One of the Everett players gonna chase it down there. Umpire received some new baseballs from the Red Devil dugout. I think that might have been Quentin McDaniel, Kelso kid, running some baseballs out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hit left side, diving stop there by the third baseman, McGrath. Strong throw to first, not in time. Boy, not for lack of effort. Terrific play down there by Cameron McGrath, and you see it there on Topher Vision, diving to his left, gets to his feet quickly and just can't quite get enough on the throw to get Ricky Muzzy, who legged it out at first base. So Muzzy aboard with an infield single, a one-out single, and in steps JT Strickler. There's a toss over to first base. Muzzy dives back in. Strickler is a perfect 2 for 2 on the evening. Right-handed batter. Takes a big deep breath, now gets back in the batter's box. Chapman checks the runner. Muzzy at first, comes to the plate. Fastball right at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Outfield straight away for JT. Left fielder Yackley deep. JT with 4 home runs on the year. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Right on the outside edge for a called strike. 0-2. Some of the Red Devil fans kind of groaning on that one. Thought maybe it was a little bit outside. JT, expressionless, steps out, takes a deep breath, now gets back in. There's a toss over to first base. Muzzy dives back in safely. Still just a gentle breeze here at Story Field. Wind blowing in from left field. Now it kind of dies down as I say that. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball outside. 1-2 the count now. Good waste pitch. Thought he could maybe get JT to chase after it. JT looking down at his third base coach, Eric Lane. Cameron Campbell is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. We're in the top of the fifth. Red Devils 2, Trojans 1. Dalton Chapman now steps off the pitching rubber, now gets back up on top. Leans down, get the sign from his catcher, Sam Lee, nods. Now comes set. The runner from first goes. The pitch is down low. The throw into second base on a hop, not in time. And Ricky Muzzy is in with a stolen base. Count now 2-2 on JT Strickler. Muzzy with good speed in ahead of the throw. Second baseman Prater had to receive that throw a little bit in front of the bag. So Muzzy gets his lead out at second base now. A good chance for JT Strickler to bring in another run with a hit. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, lifted in the air, foul, just protecting the plate that time on a pitch that was on the outside edge, lifts it out of play over toward the campus, and the count remains 2-2. JT with a couple of practice cuts. Chapman checks the runner at second a couple times, comes to the plate and blows him down with high heat. JT chased one up in the strike zone. Strikeout victim number 3, and he doesn't strike out very often. And with 2 men down, Cameron Campbell will step in. Cameron reached on a fielder's choice in the first and bounced to second in the third. Chapman once again checks Muzzy at second base. Here comes the pitch. Curveball down in the dirt. Good stop that time by the catcher Sam Lee, and the count is 1 ball on Cameron Campbell. Campbell listed at 5'9". Mentioned he's out of Ellensburg. Stocky build. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. In there. No, my goodness. I actually thought that might have been a called strike, but apparently a little bit high, so the count 2-0 on Cameron Campbell. Trojans under Levi Lacey, their head coach, have become a perennial power in the NWAC circles. Here's the 2-0 pitch. A little bit high again, ball 3, 3-0 the count. That's one thing that we've noticed through the years is the umpires here will give you the low strike, not so much the high strike, but they have been consistent from umpire to umpire and from game to game and from year to year. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4, that one a little bit outside. So a 4-pitch walk to Cameron Campbell. So runners on first and second with 2 men down. And that'll bring in Jordan Barkus. Jordan looking for his first hit tonight. He did hit a sacrifice fly in the first, struck out in the third, so officially 0 for 1 on the night. Runners get their lead. There's the pitch, fouled. Third base side, third baseman Cameron McGrath goes over and has a look, but it falls out of play. And the count is 1 strike on Jordan Barkus. Outfield straightaway, medium depth. Chapman once again checks the runners, delivers. Fouled up and out of play once again. This one into the screen off to the left of home plate. Thought it might have gotten out of here, but did not. Count 2 strikes now on Jordan Barkus. So he'll kind of shorten it up now and just try to put the ball in play somewhere. And he's been a good two-strike hitter all year long. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fouled into the screen off to the left of home plate once again. You might remember the two-strike hitting that the Red Devils put on in winning the West Region Championship against Tacoma 2 weekends ago. Down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out and 5 straight singles. And several of the batters were 0-2 before coming back with a hit. Jordan Barkas, one of them. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, fouled off the glove of the catcher, comes to the backstop. So Barkas hangs tough. Count remains 0-2. Making Dalton Chapman work. Both starters have gone all the way. Chapman for Everett, Aiken for Lower Columbia. Long look down to his catcher by Dalton Chapman. Once again, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So that'll do it for the Red Devils. They come up empty in the top of the 5th. We move to the bottom half of the 5th. The score, Lower Columbia 2, Everett 1.
Nestled within tall trees and beautiful buildings, Pierce College has established itself as a national leader in improving student success. With 2 main campuses in Puyallup and Fort Steilacoom, and satellite campuses on Joint Base Lewis-McChord, Pierce College strives to create quality educational opportunities to help students realize their possibilities. As we celebrate 50 years in the community, Pierce College is proud to offer more than 60 programs of study with a fit for you, your life, your schedule, and your dream. Find your path, start at Pierce College today, and realize your possibilities. Visit pierce.ctc.edu.
One-click bill pay, fast, easy, and secure. We get ready to move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jared Aiken will face the numbers 9, 1, and 2 hitters for the Everett Trojans, Cameron McGrath, Jaden Yackley, and Jacob Prater. Aiken has been solid through 5. First pitch, in for a called strike. Make it 4 as he pitches here in the bottom half of the 5th. There's the next pitch. That one's up high and away. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. 2 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors for the Red Devils. 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error for the Trojans. The winner stays in winner's bracket. There's a pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, I'll tell you what. Cameron McGrath had a rip. Number 9 hitter, but he hits .319 on the year. And we mentioned as a team, Everett hitting .300. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, hit on the right side. Ricky Muzzy over to his left, fields, throws in time to get Cameron McGrath. So 1 quick out here, the end of the bottom half of the 5th. Score at 4-3. We get a chance to get a good look at it there on Topher Vision. Muzzy moving to his left. Fields cleanly, and good strong throw to first to Cameron Campbell, so 1 man down. And we go back to the top of the order for Jaden Yackley. Yackley popped to first his first time up and skied to right. First pitch, breaking ball, in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Shortstop Corey Conklin plays very deep, as does the second baseman Ricky Muzzy. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball, down low and away, 1-1 the count. Jared ready. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball right at the knees for a called strike. Big time pitch by Jared Aiken. And the count is 1-2. You watch Jared, and he is a picture of calmness. I mean, he just never looks rattled. And I know he had the throwing error, but he just always looks so calm. There's a fly ball lifted into right center field. Center fielder Kyle Stanstrom chases it down in right center field. A long running catch that time by Kyle Sandstrom as he chases one down in right center field. I thought that had a chance to get down, and there you get a chance to see it. And just got a good jump on the ball, did Kyle. So a long out off the bat of Jaden Yackley, and that'll bring in Jacob Prater with 2 men down. First pitch in for a called strike. Prater popped to third his first time up and then smoked one to third his second time up. Officially 0 for 2 on the night. 0-1 the count. Next pitch, curveball, hit on the ground, out towards Corey Conklin. Field, strong throw to first in time. Easy inning for the Red Devils as the Trojans go quietly. We've played 5. The score, Red Devils 2, Trojans 1.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Rick McCorkle, the fine writer for the Daily News, is sitting to my left and just pointed out that Dalton Chapman, the starting pitcher for Everett, is right at 100 pitches as we begin play here in the 6th inning. 60 of those pitches are for strikes. He'll face Kyle Sandstrom, Trevor Huddleston, and Chase Hodgkinson. The first pitch to Kyle is outside, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Outfield plays straight away. Chapman ready, the 1-0 pitch. Curveball, this one catches the outside edge for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Looks like we've got a left-hander throwing in the Trojan bullpen. The 1-1 pitch, just a little bit outside, 2-1 the count. Nobody throwing for the Red Devils. Chapman ready, here comes the 2-1 pitch. Curveball drops in nicely for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. Mentioned that he's from Alaska, and you know, you don't really think of Alaska as being a good baseball state, but in fact they take their baseball very seriously up there, and they have quite the summer league teams up there. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball way outside. Chapman kind of lost his balance a little bit and kind of looking at his finger a little bit like maybe he had perspiration on it, or who knows, maybe the start of a blister, not sure. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Curveball outside, ball 4. Had to kind of wait on that one. I wasn't sure what the umpire was going to call on that, but Sandstrom is aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 6th inning. And that'll bring in Trevor Huddleston. And we're going to get a visit to the mound as JoJo Howie, the pitching coach, on his way out. You might remember JoJo was a member of that 2013 team that won the NWAC championship. That was a good baseball club. The visit continues. He's not made a move to go down to the bullpen. In the meantime, Trevor Huddleston going to make his way down to third base line and hook up with his third base coach Eric Lane for a little strategy. We'll see if the Red Devils try to bunt Sandstrom along here and get him in scoring position. The visit is over at the mound as JoJo Howie makes his way back toward the third base dugout. We're in the top half of the sixth. Red Devils leading by a score of 2-1. Kyle Sandstrom at first after leading off the sixth inning with a base on balls. Chapman ready. Huddleston squares as if to bunt. There's a toss over to first base. Sandstrom dives back in. About 5 minutes to 10 here in the Longview-Kelso area. I wonder what time it is in Melbourne, Australia. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Runner from first goes. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Not in time. Shortstop Nick Anderson covering, taking the throw. Huddleston squared as if to bunt, pulled the bat back. Sandstrom got a pretty good break on it and got in under the tag, and boy, almost, in fact he did. His foot came off the bag there a little bit, but he managed to get back on. Good camera work by the Topher Vision crew. One strike to count on Trevor Huddleston. Sandstrom aboard at second now in scoring position with nobody down. Red Devils looking to add on. Chapman ready. Checks the runner at second. Huddleston squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes the pitch down low, and the count evens up at 1-1. Once again, Trevor steps out of the batter's box and looks down to Eric Lane. Boy, Eric was a terrific ball player here at Lower Columbia and then over at Gonzaga. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Lifted in the air, right field. This should move the runner along. The right fielder, Tingelstad, makes the catch. Sandstrom breaks from second. Strong throw from third, but gets cut off. And with a head-first slide, Sandstrom is in at third base. Boy, Tingelstad, good strong throw. So a sacrifice fly off the bat of Huddleston. And with one man down, a chance for Chase Hodgkinson to drive in a run and add to the Red Devils' lead. Chase batting left-handed against the right-handed throwing Dalton Chapman, but he is a switch hitter. I've not had a chance to look and see which side he is better at statistically. Infield comes in for a play at the plate. The first pitch is a curveball that drops in nicely for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Chapman pitching from the stretch with the runner on third. Here comes the pitch. There's lifted in the air center field. This may get the job done. Center fielder Stuckler makes the catch. Sandstrom breaks from third on his way home. The throw cut off. Then coming in to score is Kyle Sandstrom on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Chase Hodgkinson. Just good fundamental baseball by the Red Devils to get that third run. And the Red Devils now lead by a score of 3-1. The bases are empty, and Steve Robinson will step in. Robinson, left-handed batter. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Set a pitch down in the strike zone, and the count is no balls, one strike. Steve looking for his first hit tonight. He's bounced to second in 2 plate appearances. .272 hitter on the year. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, up high. 1-1 the count. Steve has played some second base here at Lower Columbia. Not so much this year with Ricky Muzzy there, but he has played some. Played a little bit last year. Very versatile player. There's the next pitch, a check swing, takes it down low and inside, and the count is 2-1. We're in the top half of the sixth. Red Devils lead it by a score of 3-1. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Red Devils, 1 run on 3 hits for the Trojans. Dalton Chapman ready. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Hit to the right side to the second baseman again. So that's the third time tonight that Robinson has bounced out to the second baseman. That'll do it for the Red Devils. They come up with a run, and we move to the bottom half of the sixth. Red Devils 3, Trojans 1.
Ready for a new adventure? Study at Douglas College in Vancouver, Canada. Take a post-degree program and launch your career, or prepare to study at top Canadian universities. Become eligible for a 3-year work visa with a 2-year program. Choose success. Choose Douglas College.
Look, baseball's a numbers game. A 570-foot home run at age 15, 31 homers in 66 games, first front cover at 16, #1 overall draft pick, majors at 19. Over 100 home runs is 34. On-base percentage at 340, then 368, then 460. 4-time All-Star, beating 9.2 million ballots, 30 out of 30 MVP votes, chasing 762, 4256, 2297, 3562. You're 220 at age 23. But kid, just remember, no number sounds as good as this.
On to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Jared Aiken will face the numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the lineup for the Trojans. Trent Tingelstad, Peyton Cordova-Smith, and Bryce Steckler. Aiken ready, the first pitch. Hit sharply into right field by the first baseman, Cameron Campbell. Man, that ball was smoked, and it gets by Trevor Huddleston, and that's going to allow Trent Tingelstad to coast on into second base. So Trevor kind of misplayed the ball out there in right field, so a single and an error. Allowing Tingelstad to get into second base, and that'll bring in Peyton Cordova-Smith, who's a perfect 2 for 2 on the evening. Man, that ball was just smoked. There's the pitch, hit on the ground right side, through into right field for a base hit. Tingelstad rounding third. On the way home, the throw to the plate is going to be cut off, and we have got a 3-2 ball game. So Peyton Cordova-Smith, a perfect 3 for 3 on the night, drives in the Trojans' second run of the ball game. As Trent Tingelstad comes in from second base to score. Still nobody down. And that'll bring in the center fielder, Bryce Steckler. Steckler reached on an error in the second, singled in the fourth. Cordova-Smith gets his lead over at first base, being held on by Cameron Campbell. The pitch, breaking ball, down low, ball 1. 1-0 the count on Bryce Steckler. Nick Anderson, the shortstop, is on deck for the Trojans. We thought this ball game would be a nail biter, and it's turning out to be just that. There's a toss over to first base. Cordova-Smith dives back in. Outfield basically straight away for Steckler. Aiken ready, checks the runner over at first. Pitch, curveball, drops in nicely for a called strike, right on the outside edge, and the count evens up at 1-1. Still a pretty good crowd in the house here at Story Field. Aiken has a sign he wants from his catcher. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball just off the outside edge, and the count runs 2-1 now on Bryce Steckler. Aiken has a quick conversation with his second baseman, Ricky Muzzy. Now he's back up on top. The 2-1 pitch, popped up on the infield. Ricky Muzzy calling for it. Second baseman settles under it, makes the catch. That's a big out. One man down now here in the bottom half of the sixth. And that'll bring in Nick Anderson. Anderson reached on an error in the second, hit into a fielder's choice in the fourth. Cordova-Smith gets his lead over at first. He is the potential tying run for the Trojans. Here's the first pitch. Fastball up high, ball one. Still just a gentle breeze blowing in from left field here at Story Field. Glad you're with us on 1490 KLOG, Kelso Longview, KLOG.com, and Topher Vision. Next pitch is a curveball, drops low, and the count is 2-0. Jared Aiken going to take a long walk around the mound again, as he's wont to do on occasion. Now going to come up the backside of the hill. Still nobody throwing that I can see, although the video stand is kind of in the way a little bit, blocking the bullpen down the right field line. Now the count runs 3-0 as the next pitch is down low to Nick Anderson. Sam Lee is in the on-deck circle for the Trojans. Aiken still working quickly. The 3-0 pitch in there for a called strike right at the knees, and the count is 3-1. Red Devils would love to turn a double play right now and get out of this. Kyle Sandstrom pretty deep in center field. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, way outside, ball four. So Peyton Cordova-Smith will move on down to second base. Nick Anderson is aboard with the base on balls. And that'll bring in the catcher, Sam Lee. Lee hit a sacrifice fly to left field in the second inning, and then popped or grounded out to, or checked that. Yeah, he popped up to the shortstop in the fourth. Head coach Eddie Smith going to come out and have a quick word with his starter Jared Aiken, who has gone all the way. Fans, be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also, visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. The visit is over. Head coach Smith makes his way back toward the first base dugout. Jared Aiken remains in the ball game for the Red Devils. And we do in fact have a left-hander starting to get loose down in the bullpen for the Red Devils right now. In steps Sam Lee. Here's the first pitch. Diving stop down at third by Barkas. Throw to second for one. To throw back to first, not quite in time. That was a smash down to the third baseman, Jordan Barkas, who made a diving stop. Managed to get the throw to second to get the lead runner over there. Nice play by Jordan Barkas. So Sam Lee is aboard on a fielder's choice. Peyton Cordova-Smith, the runner from second, moves to third. They get Nick Anderson forced at second. And Sam Lee is aboard at first. In steps Daniel Head, the designated hitter. Here comes the pitch. Looked like a slider down low and away. The count is 1-ball. Daniel Head popped up to the shortstop in the second inning and bounced to the third baseman in the fourth. 263 hitter on the year. Aiken checks the runners at first and third, delivers, swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and the count evens up at 1-1. Jared leans down, has a sign from J.T. Strickler, his catcher. The 1-1 pitch, curveball, lifted in the air, left field and deep, very deep. The left fielder Robinson going back, falls over the fence. He made the catch! Visions of Derek Sahlberg, not quite the leaping, falling backwards variety, but nonetheless, a catch for the ages by Steve Robinson, robbing Daniel Head of a 3-run homer here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. The score remains Red Devils 3, Trojans 2. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Originally, I came to C of I specifically for baseball. And once I got here, I realized that C of I was a lot more than just baseball. The student-faculty ratio here is unbelievable. That was really where I realized that C of I was different than my old school that I transferred from, and really any other school. I had one teacher spend about 5 hours with me in 2 days on individual work, and I've never had a teacher, even in high school, take the time to do that for me. I'm Sam Grice, and that's why I chose C of I.
Boy, just a circus catch by Steve Robinson out in left field to rob Daniel Head of a 3-run home run. And it was Derek Sahlberg who made the leaping catch, falling backwards into the bullpen against the Everett Trojans. So Everett probably feels a little bit snake bit, and we've got a change in pitchers right now for Everett. And take a look and see who that is. Looks like it's going to be Connor Sage. Connor Sage is the new pitcher for the Everett Trojans in relief of Dalton Chapman. And he's going to face Corey Conklin, Ricky Muzzy, and JT Strickler. See if we can get the line on Sage. He has appeared in 13 games, a record of 3 wins, no losses, earned run average of 2.50. So he has been solid out of the bullpen for the Everett Trojans. Left-hander against left-hander. The first pitch to Corey Conklin, down low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Boy, the play in the field has just been remarkable all day. In fact, the entire tournament, there have just been some highlight reel plays. The 1-0 pitch catches the outside edge for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Corey Conklin steps out of the box and takes a practice cut. Now gets back in. Lanky left-handed batter ready to face the left-hander Connor Sage. Sage with a long look down to his catcher, Sam Lee, and now Corey says, hey, that's enough time. I'm going to step out of here for a second. Now he gets back in. Sage ready, the 1-1 pitch. Right at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. That was a nice pitch. Sage is a very slender young man. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Curveball outside. List him at 6'2". He's out of Squalicum High School in Bellingham. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Curveball lifted in the air down the left field line. Left fielder Yackley over near the line makes the catch right on the stripe. Yackley had played Conklin to hit to the left side anyway, so he chased the ball right down on the line. So a long fly ball out off the bat of Corey Conklin. And with one man down, we go back to the top of the order for Ricky Muzzy. Ricky with 1 hit in 3 appearances. He did also reach on an error and scored a run. Squares to bunt, bunts it up third base line. McGrath fields, throws to first in time to get the hustling Ricky Muzzy. I think Ricky bunted it maybe just a little bit harder than he wanted to. Had he taken a little bit off of that, I think he might have had a chance. Score at 5-3. And with 2 men down, in steps JT Strickler. There's the pitch, hit lined right at the shortstop, who catches it right off his shoe tops, leaning back to his right to rob Strickler of a base hit. Strickler smoked it. That'll do it for the Red Devils. They come up empty in the top of the 7th On to the bottom of the 7th. Red Devils 3, Trojans 2.
People often ask, what is it you do? I'm an Idaho Army National Guard soldier. But then again, it's not that simple. You see, I'm more than a weekend warrior. It's a continuous effort every day. Yeah, there's extremely long hours, but it's worth it. I love my job. It's like anything else. My profession is whatever I want to make of it. I get to do the incredible things most people dream of. The men and women I serve with are dedicated to being a premier force. It's amazing when you see my entire unit work together. When push comes to shove and we receive that order, we put steel on target. I'm always ready to be called upon to serve our nation. But in the meantime, I train. I serve and protect my neighbors while defending their right to freedom. I'm an Idaho community asset that stands among our citizens. The boundaries I once thought I had are continuously tested and broadened. So there you have it. People will not always know who I am or what I do. But that's all right, because I do.
On to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Jared Aiken remains in the game for the Red Devils. He'll face Cameron McGrath, Jaden Yackley, and Jacob Prater for the Trojans, numbers 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Here comes the pitch, the fastball, up high, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Aiken ready. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Count evens up at 1-1. McGrath, right-handed batter. The next pitch, right at the knees on the outside edge. Not sure McGrath cared for that call a lot. Kind of takes a little walk off to the left of the plate, now comes back in. A .319 hitter on the year with no home runs. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Laced foul, out of play. Count remains 1-2 on McGrath. Again, Everett as a team hit .300 on the year. The 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground right side, knocked down by Cameron Campbell, throws to the pitcher covering Jared Aiken. Nice play on both ends there. And they get the first out here in the bottom half of the 7th, score a 3-1 covering. And they go back to the top of the order for Jaden Yackley. Yackley wears number 2 on the uniform. Looking for his first hit tonight, 0 for 3. Aiken ready, the pitch. Curveball, a little bit high, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Couple of Red Devils standing down in the bullpen. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a good fastball right on the outside edge, and the count evens up at 1-1. Big right-hander has the sign he wants. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at high heat. 1-2 the count. Certainly does not appear to have lost anything on the velocity. Outfield swings around a little bit to the right for Mr. Yackley. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Curveball drops in nicely, called strike 3. And believe it or not, that is the first strikeout of the ball game for Jared Aiken. So with 2 men down, that'll bring in Jacob Prater. Prater also looking for his first hit on the night, 0 for 3. First pitch, fastball, lifted in the air, right field, playable. Trevor Huddleston comes in, settles under it, makes the catch. An easy inning No runs for the Trojans. We have played 7, Red Devils 3, Everett 2.
The Guard has over 50,000 wheeled vehicles in action. The vast fleet of Humvees, troop transports, and fuel tank trucks are always moving soldiers, gear, and equipment around the world, or delivering aid to civilians during domestic emergencies. Transport operators are essential in getting the Guard to where it needs to be.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Kelso. On to the top half of the 8th. Red Devils clinging to a 3-2 lead against the Everett Trojans in winner's bracket action. Cameron Campbell, Jordan Barkus, and Kyle Sandstrom to face relief pitcher Connor Sage here as we play in the 8th. The first pitch, chopped to the left side, fielded by the shortstop Anderson, and he boots it. Normally a very sure-handed infielder. And Anderson just kicked it away, so Cameron Campbell is aboard. Score at E6. And in steps Jordan Barkus. Jordan looking for his first hit on the night, but he does have a sacrifice fly to drive in a run. Connor Sage checks the runner over at first. Here's the pitch. Barkus bunts back toward the mound. The only play is going to be at first. And Barkus was really hustling up that line. Nice play by the pitcher Connor Sage. So the sacrifice is successful. Score at 1-3. Campbell in scoring position, and Kyle Sandstrom will step in. Sandstrom walked his last time up and scored a run. He's also singled and bounced to second, so officially 1 for 2 on the night. Campbell with a short lead out at second base. Here comes the pitch to Sandstrom. It's a breaking ball down low. Good stop by the catcher, Sam Lee. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Connor Sage with a long look down to Sam Lee, the catcher. A look at Cameron Campbell, the runner at second. The pitch, it's down low again. 2-0 the count. Outfield straight away for Sandstrom. Sage ready. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled, out of play. Count 2-1 now on the young man from Ferndale. Trevor Huddleston is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for Lower Columbia. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Everett Trojans. Here's the pitch, curveball, lifted in the air, center field. Center fielder Steckler moves over into left center, makes the catch. So 2 men down now. And that'll bring in Trevor Huddleston. Trevor hitting .287 on the year. think I heard he's going to go to Concordia. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what I heard. Certainly going to have some opportunities. Would imagine that he'd be both a position player and probably a relief pitcher wherever he moves on to. Fills both roles very well. Sage checks the runner at second, delivers the pitch. Ground ball left side, fielded by Anderson to shortstop. Low throw, but a good stop over there by the first baseman, Peyton Cordova-Smith. And that'll do it for the Red Devils. They come up empty here in the top of the 8th. We move to the bottom half of the 8th. The score, Lower Columbia 3, Everett 2.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
Happened. As we go to the bottom half of the 8th, we have a new pitcher for the Red Devils. Jared Aiken's work is done. And coming in to pitch for the Red Devils in kind of an uncustomary role is Tyler Parsons, who has been one of the Big Four starters all year long. But I think Eddie, feeling the importance of this ball game, wants to bring in somebody who throws strikes. And Tyler has been solid all year long. He's 5-2 on the year with a 2.87 earned run average. In 56 innings, he's only given up 5 bases on balls. So good move by Eddie to bring in one of his studs here to try to shut down the Everett Trojans over the last 2 innings. Certainly solid work tonight by Jared Aiken. Trent Tingelstad will lead it off for the Trojans, to be followed by Peyton Cordova-Smith and Bryce Steckler. Here comes the pitch. Down low, ball 1. Tingelstad and Cordova-Smith are both left-handers, so that would be another reason to bring in Tyler. Here comes the pitch. Fastball right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Tyler does not throw especially hard, but he has really good movement on the ball, and he's got pinpoint control. Curveball down low, ball 2, 2-1 the count. I guess the question will be, how does he adjust to the relief role when he's been a starter all year long? He's a pretty poised kid. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, down low, ball 3, kind of an awkward step coming down the slope there. Tyler going to take a walk back behind the mound, kind of gather himself a little bit and come back up on top. Left-hander from Castle Rock, who pitched for Kelso High School. Ready, the 3-1 pitch. Fouled, up and out of play. The count runs full now on Trent Tingelstad. Parsons working quickly, has the sign he wants. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled, up and out of play once again. Count remains full. Tingelstad, a .372 hitter on the year. He's 1 for 3 on the evening. Left-hander against left-hander. The next pitch, hit right back by the mound, out to the shortstop. Conklin fields it nicely. Throw to first just in time. Score at 6-3. One big out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Say, you looking for a challenge? Push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. You'll be trained in one of more than 150 career fields and could even earn money for college if you qualify. To find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to goarmy.com. Peyton Cordova-Smith, who is perfect, 3 for 3 on the evening, steps in. The pitch is a curveball that catches the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 on Peyton Cordova-Smith. Tyler Parsons Has the sign he wants. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball. This one's down low. 1-1 the count now. Cordova Smith out of Bothell. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, just a little bit low. 2-1 the count. Some of the faithful groaned just a little bit, but that did appear to be a little bit low. Tyler typically stays down in the strike zone. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch that was down in the strike zone. And boy, Cordova Smith took a rip at it, let me tell you. Trevor Huddleston deep in right field. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three, and a slider outside. Big time pitch by Tyler Parsons and a huge out. Second out of the inning, and that'll bring in Bryce Steckler, the center fielder. Olympic College is nationally recognized by the Aspen Institute as a 2015 top 10 community college because the programs help students earn good paying jobs. Get busy learning at olympic.edu. Here comes the first pitch. It's just a little bit outside, ball one. 1-0 the count on Steckler. Bases are empty here, bottom of the eighth. Red Devils lead it by a score of 3-2. Parsons ready, the 1-0 pitch. Right at the knees on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Corey Conklin deep and in the hole at shortstop. Ricky Muzzy pulled over a little towards second. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. A little bit outside, ball two, 2-1 the count. Steckler, after stepping out, now gets back in. The left-hander ready. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. 2-2 the count now on Steckler. Should he get aboard, Nick Anderson, the shortstop, is in the on-deck circle. Tyler ready. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike three, fastball right on the outside edge, and that'll do it for the Trojans in the bottom of the eighth as they come up empty. On to the ninth, Red Devils 3, Trojans 2, back in 1 minute.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you. For them. Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Station Portland on Space Ground 3. Ready to close valve 2.
Conditioning. On to the ninth, Red Devils clinging to a 3-2 lead over the Everett Trojans. Solid relief work by Tyler Parsons coming on to help out Jared Aiken. Pitches a perfect 1-2-3, bottom of the eighth. To lead off the ninth, Chase Hodgkinson will step in. And now against the left-hander, Chase will bat from the right side. He'll be followed by Steve Robinson and Corey Conklin. That's the same Steve Robinson that made the circus catch going over the fence in left field. Chase squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes a curveball in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Not sure if Steve's parents are up from California for this one. If not, hopefully watching, and hopefully they got a chance to see that on Topher Vision. Next pitch is in there for a called strike, another curveball. And Chase Hodgkinson in the hole with 2 strikes. Calls time to step out. Looks like he has to cough a little bit. Now he gets back in. Student bodies really enjoyed having the 2 kids from Australia, both Chase and Sam, on the roster this year. They've been real student favorites up here. Connor Sage, ready. Left-hander delivers. Fouled right back into the screen, right down in front of me, and the count remains 0-2. Ball going to be chased down by Corey Conklin of the Red Devils. Boy, Levi Lacey's got to wonder. Been robbed a couple times in a couple years of home runs. Next pitch fouled up and out of play down the right field line. Drops in amongst the playground area down there. See some kids playing down there. This is always kind of a fun place for kids to come to the ballpark. They got that playground equipment down there. Connor Sage working from the center of the pitching rubber. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Laced into left field for a base hit. Good 2-strike hitting by Chase Hodgkinson. Just rips it on the ground into left field. So a leadoff single for the Red Devils here in the top half of the 9th. And boy, they would love to play add-on. In steps Steve Robinson. Let's see how they play it with Steve. Going to get a pinch runner out at first base. Pinch runner is going to be Blaze Arcano. And Blaze, name is appropriate as he is very quick. So we'll see if they try to lay down the bunt or if they just try to go ahead and let Blaze steal the base. With the left-hander pitching, I would imagine they're going to try and put down the bunt. Arcano with the lead. There's a snap throw over to first, and that was pretty close. Or was it a fake throw? I guess it was a fake throw. Arcano with the lead once again, and this time he does throw over to first base. Arcano gets back in safely. Sage just kind of snaps that ball over there without much of a step. Arcano with a good lead. Once again, a throw. This time he gets back in standing. Robinson looking down to his third base coach, Eric Lane, to see what they've got on here. Corey Conklin in the on-deck circle. He squares to bunt and he gets hit. Takes it off the right hip. So on the play, Blaze Arcano, the pinch runner for Hodgkinson, who singled, will go down to second base. Steve Robinson is aboard. And Corey Conklin will step in. Conklin with a triple in the third, bounced to second in the fifth, and skied to left in the seventh. And we're going to get a visit to the mound as JoJo Howie, the pitching coach, coming out once again. And they're going to call in the infielders now and I think try to set the defense. And I'm pretty sure that Corey is probably up there to bunt with nobody down and runners on first and second. And you got the top of the order ready to come up. This has just been an absolutely terrific baseball game. It's going to be a shame for somebody to have to lose this ball game, but I guess you can say that once you get down to the final 8. They're all good baseball teams. I think one of the surprises was Lynn Benton. Lynn Benton, we saw Lynn Benton earlier in the year. They're a really good baseball team, and they just didn't play well here. They just simply did not play well, and I know the people down in the Corvallis area are going to be disappointed, and justifiably so, but still a solid season. The #1 team out of the South region. The visit is over, and Corey Conklin steps in to face Connor Sage. Runners on first and second, nobody down. Top of the 9th, Red Devils lead at 3-2. Conklin squares to bunt, takes a pitch outside. There's a snap throw down to second base, and Arcano dives back in. Shortstop Anderson was sneaking in behind Arcano. 1 ball the count on Corey Conklin. Third baseman Cameron McGrath. Comes up a little bit. Shortstop moves way over way over in the hole, not all that far from third base. Squares to bunt, lays down the bunt, but foul. Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Corey. So the third baseman charging, the shortstop covering third. Now the shortstop Anderson pulls over more towards second base to hold Blaze Arcano, the pinch runner, on. 1-1 the count. Now the shortstop breaks toward third. Now they throw in behind Arcano, and boy, I don't think he saw that second baseman sneaking in over there. He saw the shortstop break toward third, and the ball kicked off the hands of the glove of the shortstop. Not enough for anybody to advance, but that would have been a fairly close play out at second base. Pretty tricky play on the part of the Trojans. First baseman, third baseman creep up. The bunt is down, fielded by the pitcher, and they're going to get the lead runner. Bunted just a little bit too close to the mound, and Connor Sage, who was falling off to the third base side anyway, had an easy play. There you're going to see it on Topher Vision. Fielded it on 1 bounce. And they got the lead runner at third, so Arcano is forced at third. On the play, Robinson moves to second. So Conklin is aboard on a fielder's choice. And we go back to the top of the order for Ricky Muzzy. Runners get their leads. Muzzy, the pitch. Lifted in the air, foul down the right field line. Going to drift into the picnic or playground area down there once again. And it counts as 1 strike on Ricky Muzzy. Ricky reached on an error, scored in the first, struck out in the third, singled in the 5th, and bounced to the third baseman in the 7th. 340 hitter on the year. Sage, the left-hander, checks both runners. Delivers. Curveball. Lifted in the air. Down the right field line. Going to be a tough play, and it falls into foul territory. The right fielder down there, Tingelstad, gave a good run at it. Ball foul by about 15 feet. He had kind of a hook to it. Tingelstad can really run. No balls, 2 strikes on Ricky Muzzy. Right-handed batter gets in. Open stance. Connor Sage ahead in the count. Steps off the rubber, now gets back up on top. Conklin the lead at first. Robinson the lead at second. Here comes the pitch. Hit on the ground, left side, through into left field, a base hit. Robinson rounding third, on his way home. He's going to score. The throw gets cut off. Ricky Muzzy delivers the clutch hit. Driving in, Steve Robinson from second base. And the Red Devils now lead it by a score of 4-2 here in the top half of the 9th inning. On the play, Conklin advances to second base. So an insurance run for the Red Devils. And in steps J.T. Strickler. So a run on a couple of hits here in the 9th. And the Red Devils lead it 4-2. Sage steps off the rubber. Now gets back up on top. Strickler, 2 for 4 on the evening. Last time up, lined a shot right at the shoe tops of the shortstop. First pitch fouled right back into the screen. And the count is 1 strike. Fans have really been treated to a great NWAC tournament baseball game here this evening. Sage checks the runner at second, delivers. Breaking ball down low inside. The home plate umpire and the catcher, Sam Lee, kind of got tangled up a little bit. Home plate umpire managed to get out of the way. That's Ryan Sorensen. Umpiring crew has been solid here throughout the 2 days of the tournament. 1-1 the count on J.T. Strickler. There's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball drops in nicely for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Connor Sage looking down to his catcher, Sam Lee. Has the sign he wants. Runners get their leads. The 1-2 pitch. Lifted in the air. Foul territory down the right field line. Tingelstad giving chase and runs into the tarp down there. And the ball bounces off the tarp. Good hustle by Tingelstad. So a break for JT Strickler. Also chasing the ball down the right field line. Peyton Cordova-Smith, the first baseman. Good hustle on the part of both. These are just two good baseball teams. Everett, first place team out of the north. Lower Columbia, first place team out of the west. 1-2 the count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Lined right back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Conklin rounding third. On his way to the plate. They're going to go to third base instead, not in time. A throw down to second, not in time to get Stickler. And the Red Devils add yet another run. So JT Stickler drives in Corey Conklin from second base. And moving around to third base was Ricky Muzzy. And on the throw, Strickler moves into second base. So runners on second and third with one man down. Red Devils with a chance to continue to play add-on as they now lead by a score of 5-2. And a little conference out on the mound between the catcher, Sam Lee, second baseman, Jacob Prater, and the pitcher, Connor Sage. Cameron Campbell steps in with a chance to do yet more damage. Red Devils up by 3, and they're going to put him on. They're not even going to take a chance. Cameron, a solid clutch hitter, and of course this sets up the potential for the double play as well. And you've also then got left-hander pitching against left-handed batters. Jordan Barkus is on deck. There's ball 2. 2-0 the count on Campbell. Red Devils coming up clutch here in the 9th inning. There's ball 3. Catcher Sam Lee holds his right hand way out to the right of the strike zone. And there's ball 4. So Cameron Campbell will take the walk down to first base. Bases are now loaded for Jordan Barkus. And even though it's left-hander against left-hander, I'm not sure that I would like my chances pitching to Mr. Barkus. This is a really good clutch hitter. He's been clutch all year long. Came into the tournament with 38 RBIs. Hitting .350 on the year. Here comes the pitch. A slow curveball that's a little bit high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. A chance for the Red Devils to just blow this thing wide open. Bases loaded, 1 down. 2 runs are already in. They lead 5-2 here in the top of the 9th. Here comes the pitch. A check swing. He takes it for a called strike on the outside corner. And the count evens up at 1-1. Jordan gets right up on the plate. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Curveball, a check swing. They're going to ask if he's committed to it. And John Jackson says, in fact, he did not. In fact, that's not John Jackson. It looks like John Jackson from a distance, but that is, oh, it is John Jackson. Okay, I was right. 2-1 the count on Jordan Barkus. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a curveball. 2-2 the count now on the young man from Kaiser, Oregon. Left-handed batter gets back in the batter's box. Connor Sage looks down to his catcher, Sam Lee. Comes set, checks the runners. The next pitch. Chopped foul. Just protecting the plate. Good bat work that time by Jordan Barkus. Count remains 2-2. Looks like we're going to get a little activity down in the Everett bullpen now. Nobody throwing in the Red Devil bullpen. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at high heat. Jordan chased one up in the strike zone, so he's down on strikes. With 2 men down, that'll bring in Kyle Sandstrom. Kyle, the 8th man to come to the plate here in the 9th inning. He comes up with the bases loaded, 2 men down. Red Devils up on top 5-2. Sage pitching from the stretch with the bases loaded. Drops a curveball in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 10 minutes before the hour of 11 here in the Cowlitz Valley. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball catches the outside edge for a called strike. And the count is 0-2. Sage has got a good, slow breaking curveball. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Chopped foul to the right of home plate. Blaze Arcano chases it down. Count remains 0-2 on Kyle Sandstrom. Ricky Muzzy, the runner at third. Strickler, the runner at second. Cameron Campbell, the runner at first. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-2 the count on Kyle Sandstrom. All 3 runners get their leads. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hit right back by the mound, out to the shortstop, Anderson, who goes the short way to second to force out Cameron Campbell, and that'll do it for the Red Devils, but they come up with 2 runs to take a 5-2 lead going into the bottom 9th. We'll be back in 1 minute.
I absolutely love the culture of C of I. I think that it promotes excellence in students in every way. It pushes people to be just generally good, kind people. I really love how the Peak curriculum pushes students academically. You can be involved in student government, you can be involved in res life, you can be involved in sports, and kind of explore what kind of person you are and kind of how you will fit into the world after you graduate. I'm Ellen Campbell, and that's why I chose C of I.
Ready for a new adventure? Study at Douglas College in Vancouver, Canada. Take a post-degree program and launch your career, or prepare to study at top Canadian universities. Become eligible for a 3-year work visa with a 2-year program. Choose success. Choose Douglas College.
Tyler Parsons in relief of Jared Aiken will face Nick Anderson, Sam Lee, and Daniel Head. The left-hander's ready. Here comes the pitch. A little bit low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Some groans from the Red Devil faithful there. Parsons working quickly. The 1-0 pitch. Right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Anderson has reached on an error, hit into a fielder's choice, and walked. Officially 0 for 2. The next pitch, right at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Boy, when Tyler's dialed in the lowest part of the strike zone, he is pretty tough. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-2 the count. Looked like he kind of turned that one over a little bit, kind of had the screwball effect. Left-hander has a sign from JT Strickler. The 2-2 pitch. Down low, ball 3, 3-2 the count. And Tyler, he's just all business. He's ready to throw the ball. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts from Tyler Parsons, stretching back to the 8th inning. 1 man down here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And the number 7 hitter in the lineup, Sam Lee, will step in. Lee hitless in 3 appearances tonight, but a .333 hitter on the year. Here comes the pitch, right at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. And the Red Devil faithful, sensing victory here, are really into it here now in the bottom of the 9th with 1 down. The next pitch, right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Lee steps out of the batter's box. Right-handed batter now gets back in. Parsons ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Curveball up high. 1-2 the count. Good waste pitch that time by Tyler. Ahead in the count. Left-handers ready. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Cued off the end of the bat right over toward the Red Devil dugout. Count remains 1-2. Head coach Eddie Smith kind of took a swipe at it as the ball went by. Eddie leans out in front of the dugout and flashes the signs out to the catcher. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground out toward the second baseman. Muzzy fields cleanly, throws to first in time. 2 men down here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And the last chance for the Trojans is Daniel Head. And it was Mr. Head who was robbed of the home run by Steve Robinson back in the 6th inning. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And a good fastball. 1 strike the count on Daniel Head. Left fielder Robinson playing very, very deep. As well he probably should. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a pitch down and away. And the count is 0-2. As we approach the 11 o'clock hour, the Red Devils 1 strike away. The 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1. And the count is 1-2. Tyler ready. The 1-2 pitch. Down a little bit low, ball 2, 2-0 the count. That one might have been a little bit outside as well. Good eye by Daniel Head. Should he get aboard, Cameron McGrath is in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Outside ball 3, 3-2 the count. So Head has worked back from an 0-2 count. The count now runs full. Tyler Parsons takes a long walk off the backside of the slope out toward second base. Now he's back up on top. The left-hander's ready. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll do it for the Trojans here in the 9th. As they go quietly, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left. The Red Devils have downed the Trojans by a score of 5-2. The line score on the ball game, Lower Columbia 5 runs on 9 hits. They commit 3 errors and they leave 9 runners. For Everett, 2 runs on 5 hits. They commit 2 errors and they leave 7 runners. The winning pitcher, Jared Aiken, gives the save to Tyler Parsons, who struck out 4 of the 6 batters he faced in 2 innings. The tough luck loser was Dalton Chapman. With the win, the Red Devils advance in winner's bracket action. They will play Walla Walla tomorrow at 5:35 right here at Story Field. If you're in the area, come on over. That should be a terrific baseball game. The Trojans will now play Tacoma at 2:05 tomorrow. So Everett and Tacoma at 2:05. The 11:05 game tomorrow features Lane against the Columbia Basin Hawks. And in just a minute, Dave Andrew, we're going to keep it right here. Dave Andrew is going to have a post-game interview, so we're going to stay right here until he manages to corral one of the Red Devils, and any number of those players could be the star. Let's go down to the field for Dave.
All right, down here on the field with Red Devils Steve Robinson. Wow, a lot of big plays for the Devils tonight, but it's about a 5-year anniversary of the catch. Do you know what the catch is?
I do. I've seen it many times. I know all about it.
Well, I'd say tonight the catch revisited or deja vu with the catch number 2 that saved a 3-run homer. Just kind of walk us through it.
Man, well, I hit the ball hard, got a good beat on it. I knew it was going to be over the fence. I just knew I had to get to it. Didn't see the fence, as you could tell, as I flipped over it, but I was just lucky enough to make the catch, and I'm happy the way things worked out.
Your starting pitcher tonight, Jared Aiken, really pitched out of some situations. Just a little bit of what he did for you tonight, and Parsons in relief, a new role for him. Those 2 pitchers.
Oh yeah. You can't give Jared enough credit. Pars comes in a tough situation, and he's going to come in and do his best, and he sure did it today, man. Just can't give him enough credit.
All right, Steve, give Derek Solberg a call. All right, congratulations. Devils and Walla Walla now, 5:35.
The post-game interview with Steve Robinson, who made the fabulous catch going over the fence out in the left field bullpen to rob Daniel Head of a 3-run home run. That occurred in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and there you see it again. Oh my goodness gracious. The concentration, and boy, he got up to show the umpire the ball in the glove right away. And good work by John Jackson, the third base umpire, to get out to make that call. The Red Devils came up with 1 run in the first, 1 run in the third, 1 run in the fourth, and 2 runs in the ninth. The Trojans 1 run in the second and 1 run in the 6th. So that accounts for the scoring in tonight's ball game. And once again, the Red Devils come away with a 5-2 win over the Everett Trojans. And again, they will play tomorrow at 5:35 against Walla Walla. Just terrific tournament action all day today here at Story Field. And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, I hope you can find some time to come on over and watch. We got 3 ball games for you tomorrow, starting at 11:05, Lane against Columbia Basin. At 2:05, Tacoma takes on Everett. And again, Lower Columbia and Walla Walla at 5:35. Want to thank my studio engineer, Chance Buck, who did a terrific job tonight, and good work by the Topher Vision crew on the cameras. My name is Jim DeBruler. Want to thank everybody for listening tonight. Once again, your final score, Lower Columbia 5, Everett 2. Good night, everybody.